Okay. All right, people.
Our film is a beautiful film, and I believe our film has a great statement to make. We had so many beautiful people come and talk in our movie, from the puppet to Oliver Stone to Deepak Chopra. So many people participated in the making of this beautiful film because so many people shared the belief that spirituality, your faith, your God, your belief in the planet is bigger than your fear, your anger, or your temporary lapses in courage. And my belief is that God, however you see God, I see God as love, is that God was smart enough to be able to speak all of the languages of religion, all of the languages of love, all of the languages of the way we express ourselves in faith. And therefore, all of those religions and spirituality and faith that God or any sort of gods may have invented are here to align us together and not to tear us apart. And so,
yay!
We have to believe that whatever thing is greater than we are, if we can put our egos aside and imagine there is something greater than us, is meant for us to align and love one another, is meant for us to be embracive of one another, and is meant for us to be peaceful with one another. And if we can imagine just for a second that ourself is just simply the possibility that exists in us. We as a self is just a possibility. That this moment is just the possibility of what we can be. It isn't even what we are. That just now is just the living, breathing possibility of ourselves. That our in-breath is just the possibility of what we can breathe out. That we can be so much more, so much greater, if we just breathe in the possibility of exhaling a greater self. That even in this moment, all of us collectively can become a greater oneness. We can come into this room tonight as the possibility of one thing, and we can leave with a greater self. You can turn to the person next to you and just accept them. You can turn to you and go, you know what, I think I'll like you. Instead of I think maybe no, maybe I don't like the dress, maybe I like the dress, maybe I'm gonna say, oh, I wouldn't dress like that, oh, maybe I wouldn't, but I'm gonna like this person anyway. You know? And stop the judgment, stop the pettiness, stop the smallness, and say, I'm going to accept you, I'm going to embrace you, I'm going to say it's okay, and stop the bullshit. And say, peace, I'm going to be okay with you. Because what happens? What happens if this room tonight is the last room you got to be in? What happens if this was it? Wouldn't it just be so great if this was the place you found love? This was the place you found friendship. This was the place you found dignity and decency and possibility. What if this was it? You know, I've had to face that possibility. I've been in that place in my life where I was right up against the end. And I can tell you for sure, it would have been great to be standing there in love. So I can ask you, take a look around the room and say, if you were the only chance I had, I sure could love you. Because you can. So turn around to the person next to you and go ahead and love them. Thank you.
Unbelievable.